Namaste. Good afternoon to my lovely students, and today we are going to next read another exercise, that is exercise 2.5. Yesterday we have completed our exercise 2.4. Now today we are going to start the new exercise, and that is exercise 2.4. And in this exercise there is a topic, importance of traditional knowledge, skills and technologies. Traditional means that is from the things which have been established in our previous ages, old ages, that is called the traditional. And today we are going to study about the importance of these things. So before starting a chapter, we are going to deal a very beautiful topic, that is Nepal, gift of nature. Yeah, the line is very true, that Nepal is a gift of nature. Why we used to say that Nepal is a gift of nature? As we know that in Nepal we find different types of climatic condition. Although Nepal is very small, with having a small, here we find the three types of climatic condition, that is hot, moderate, cold. See, we find the different types of vegetations. We find here more castes, more than 100 castes, and with having those, there is a different types of culture, traditions, the living way of the peoples, celebrating the festival according to their norms, traditions. That is called the Nepal is a gift of nature. And here we find different types of castes, but here is a mutual understanding, here is a cooperation. In simple, we can say that that is brotherhood, relationship. Never we have differentiated the castes, that we are belonging from this caste, they are belonging from that caste. No, always we have a love and always we have a respect for each and every one, either that is low caste, either that is high caste. But now today's situation, today's condition of the country, there is no low caste, no high caste. Each and every caste is equal in law. That's why Nepal have been established as a secular country. Secular means धर्म निरपेक्ष, जहाँ कुनै जात जाति ठुलो हुँदैन. Only there is one caste that is always equal, that is humanity. Humanity means manavta. So students, let's discuss the topic, that Nepal, gift of nature. As we know that having different types of rich in physical diversity, diversity means vividikaran. Here we find in Nepal there is a three geographical regions. Such Nepal is divided into Tarai, hills, Himalayan, and with these three region, in Tarai we find a hot type of climate, in hills we find a moderate type of climate, moderate means neither too hot neither too cold, and in Himalayan we find the cold type of climate. See, Nepal is small but having a variety type of climatic condition. Nepal have different types of altitude. Altitude means height above the sea level, and the climatic condition change from its altitude. Okay, just 60 to 600 Tarai, 600 to 3300 that is hills, and more than 3300 that is Himalayan. So students, here we find the different type of land topography. Just we have discussed about the land topography, means having a different types of landform. In Tarai we find a flat land, in hills we find a somewhat slopy land, up and down, and Himalayan we find a slopy highland, and this landform is also a condition factors for changing the climate. That's why we are at the low altitude, we are living in Tarai, we are at the low altitude in comparison to the hills and Himalayan. So here we find a hot type of climate. And in comparison to the Tarai, hills is at the height, it lies from 660 to 600 is Tarai, and 600 it hills. So there we find a moderate type of climate. For example, Bhairava is hot, but Palpa is cold in comparison to Bhairava. Why? What is the reason? That is, altitude is the reason that Bhairava is hot, but in comparison to the Bhairava, Palpa is at the high altitude. Altitude means height above the sea level. That's why we find there is the climatic condition is too cold in comparison to the Tarai, and hills we find the Himalayan is more cold in comparison to the hills. That is called the land topography. And with that land topography, Himalayan ranges in the north. Himalaya rise at the northern belt, whereas smooth plain in the south hills, whereas valleys in the center. Valleys just Kathmandu. Here just we have discussed the example of a Palpa, same as like that the Kathmandu is also, isn't it? Kathmandu is neither too hot neither too cold. There we find the moderate type of temperature because of its altitudinal position. Varied climate over distinct landform. Here, according to the landform, there is a varied type of climate. We have discussed about this also, that the landform is, the climate is depend on its landform. That is the reason. So the Tarai lie at the low altitudinal position, that's why here the climate is hot. Hills at the height, that's why there is a moderate. Okay, the suitable for cultivation of many types of crops. Look, according to the landform, we find the different types of vegetations. Okay, vegetations means banaspati, and in Tarai we find the deciduous forest. Okay, deciduous one means chharieka, like here we find the mango tree, the branches are here and there. Ghana, that is deciduous means ghana, deciduous forest, whereas in the hills we find the pine as well as deciduous, but in Himalayan we find the pine trees. According to the climatic condition, there is the different types of vegetation we find. And one more example, that in Tarai we find a white potato, whereas in the where the soil is red, in our Himalayan or hills area where the soil is red, we find the reddish potato. Why? Because of the different forms of landform. Okay, when the landform varied, the vegetation also varied, means different types of vegetation grow, used to be there. And vegetation we find differ from in comparison to these regions, Tarai, hills, Himalayan. We find always there is the different types of vegetation, like pine trees. We have taken an example of pine trees, which is, pine trees are those trees which have a coney shaped leaves, and the shape is like the ice cream cone. That's why we used to say that that is a pine trees, and this type of trees is only found in the cold places. suitable for cultivation of many types of crops. Another student, having perennial rivers fed by Himalayan snow. We are discussing from our starting chapters that Nepal have most of there is the perennial river. Perennial means the from the Himalayan snow used to melt and the water used to meet in the different rivers. Here we find in Nepal there is the more than 6,000 rivers and rivulets, and they are the source. The source is only the Himalayan snow, and these water are very suitable for drinking. We can say pure water. That is perennial rivers get drinking water. From where we used to get the drinking water? From the Himalayan snow, or in like in the, if we used to see the condition of the hills or Himalayan, the people used to take the water from the mountains, swiftly flowing from the mountains, and the people used to drink that water pure. Here in Tarai we get the water from the underground sources like boring, isn't it, tap. These are the sources of the Tarai, that is get drinking water, underground sources, tap, boring, these are the underground sources. Irrigational canal, and here in Tarai we used to find the irrigational canal. Irrigational means which is suitable for doing the agriculture with having a facility of the water, and sometimes canal means nahar, that is called the canal, and people, where there is a canal, people easily can do the agriculture. So Nepal is also known as one of the agricultural country, because here we find the water resources in a limited, very huge amount. The facility is available here. That's why Nepal is called the agricultural country, and there is a huge amount of production of the different types of crops, vegetations. Why this is so? Because of the having the facility of irrigational canal. Another boon of nature for our country. Boon, the word, very lovely word, the boon. Boon means Vardhan. Really, it is no doubt that Nepal have been got a boon from the God. The Nepal have been made. Here we find all the facility, all the resources, although we are unable to utilize that resources properly, that is our fault, but it is, Nepal is a gift of God for we people. We are very proud that we are born in Nepal. We are very patriotic towards our country. If we see our history, there are many brave warriors who have sacrificed their life for the sake of the nations. If we see a little bit a history portion, see, British have captured many places of India, but they cannot capture Nepal. All in the world where there were the world war, most of the countries became the colony. Colony means captured from the other country, like India became the colony for the British, but Nepal never been the colony. Why? Because the people of Nepal, the brave warriors of Nepal, were very patriotic and they used to love their nation very much. So we are also. So we have to also protect our natural resources. We have to be also very patriotic towards our country. That is boon for our country, Vardhan, Ashirvad, bliss from the God. Really, Nepal have got a bliss from the God, no doubt. Now students, we have studied. Now let's see our second topic of the same exercise, that is 2.5, traditional skills and technologies. If we see the condition of our ancestors were also very skilled, not in education, but making the traditional equipments which help them for utilizing the crops. That type of traditional equipment have been made, technology have been drafted from our ancestors, and our ancestors were highly creative, really. If we talk about our ancestors, they have a different types of mind to create a new thing. How they can generate a new thing, creative, and try to be self-reliant and always depend on themselves, never depend on others. Just they have developed their skills and technology from early times. At the starting period, they are discovering the new things. Having own method of farming in Nepal, let's see. In foreign countries, we find the different types of machines for having a agriculture, but still in Nepal also, still today, we are using our traditional harpoons. Harpoons means equipment to plough the field, to do the agriculture. Having own method of farming, harvesting, storing. Harvesting means cutting, storing means the crops which have been cut down, that should be stored, storing, and cooking. They used to utilize all the things. They never throw it as a waste material. But some of them are in the verge of extinction due to modernization, ignorance by youth. Now, like you people, some of our traditional harpoons, equipments, technology which have been discovered by our ancestor are in the verge of extinction. Extinction भन्नाले लोप हुँदै जानु, धेरै जसो लोप हुँदै गइरहेको छ. So, my dear students, we have to protect that traditional harpoons for our coming generation. They also know about the traditional skills, technologies, that what type of technology, what type of harpoons, machines is used by our ancestor. And no doubt, whatever they have discovered, the harpoons, that is manual, not automatic. Manual means it is based on lever, oil seeds, for example, okay, for example, what are that type of harpoons? There are many more harpoons, but now we are discussing only the 4 that you can easily understand. Just the oil seed crushing machine. Oil seed means tori, from where we used to get the oil, and they have developed that harpoons, and that harpoons is based on manual labor. Manual means used by the men. When they used to go round, then there will be the oil used to be come from that seed. See, what is that technology? Grain grinding machine, Jato, we all know this. If we go our village, certainly still in our houses, there we find this type of machines, okay, which used to grind. Grind means pisnu the things. Cooking stove, some of the students have also, there is the cooking stove, that is chulho. Now there is gas, different types of heater, electronic machine which used to cook the food, but at that time there was no anything. They used to cook the food on cooking stove, that is in Nepali we say chulho. When they used to bring the wood from the jungle, then they used to cook the food. Look, what a traditional life was that. And certainly that life is too good than our life. There was pleasure, happiness, there was mutual understanding, love, affection towards them. So that type of habit we have to also build in our society, that we always used to be cooperative towards other. Always our nature should be very helpful for others. Grain crushing machine, Diki. Look, the word Nepali we can say that the grain crushing machine, that is a Diki. What a lovely word, Diki. We have heard so, the Diki also. And certainly students, you can see when you can see your books, when you take the exercise 2.5, you can see these machines in your exercise book at that time. Now students, importance of traditional skills and technologies. What are the importance of traditional skills and technologies? Let's see. They give our cultural identity. Why we should have to preserve these traditional skills and technology? What are the importance for this traditional? Because they used to give our identity. Identity means pehchan, based on local means and resources. Always this Diki, Jato is based on local means and resources. Where there is the production of the local means and resources, they used to utilize. They used to grind. Grind means pisnu. They reflect our original lifestyle. Actually, this is not our lifestyle. Whatever our ancestors have lived, that is the lifestyle. Clean environment, getting fresh food. Okay? They help preserve of knowledge and arts. Always they have a helpful nature. They always used to share the knowledge and arts, how this can be designed, how can the machine can be made, drafted. They always used to share. They always used to give the knowledge to the others. You can also make. they arouse pride in us. Really, when we hear so, always we feel very proud towards our ancestors. And highly environment and friendly, they have the always gossip. Today we won't have a time to talk with anybody because of our busy life, but at that time people used to sit in the place. In Nepali we say that chautari, and they used to have a gossip, laugh. That's why at that time life expectancy was also good in comparison to the today. They are not very expensive. They can make anything at a very cheap rate. Attract the tourist and be the source of foreign currency. At that time, these all traditional harpoons, the beautiful Nepal, these thing attract the tourist and be the source for earning a money. That type of life was there. And from that time, that's why today we are saying that Nepal is a touristical place. Why? Because we are preserving our traditional skills, technologies, harpoons. Still we find there is more villages. Now students, actually today we have start in a very slow motion. Now this exercise is also very less. So today we complete this exercise 2.5, and our last methods of preservation, how we can protect this, preserve, यसको रक्षा सुरक्षा कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ त. Should know about the traditional skills and technology with their advantage. We have to know the advantage. Advantage means फायदा, and should have to preserve that traditional skills and technology for the future. Modify with modern machinery, preserving their originality. Yeah, according to the time there is the changes, but the changes in the equipment should be done that their traditionality should not be hampered. See, so we have to preserve the traditional equipment and we have to make that traditional into modern, but saving its traditionality. That will be the more better for us. Government bring effective program and policies. Government have to be very strong, and government have to make a new type of policies for preserving these traditional skills and technologies, from where our future generation can get the knowledge. You and after you, another generation can get the knowledge. We have to preserve this for always. Young people should be taught about the importance and advantage. At last, like you people, like your coming generation, should be taught about the importance of traditional skills and technologies. That is very important, and we have to preserve all these things. So students, here is a very simple question for you. The question is, what are the importance and methods of preservation of traditional skills and technologies. So students, once again, what are the methods, what are the importance and methods of preservation of traditional skills and technologies? Only one question, and this question is very important for your exam. So students, in this way we have completed our exercise 2.5 and hope you will enjoy the classes. So thank you. Namaste.